Leveling transportation demand at Kimberly-Clark. Joining us today to speak about that, Ron Sweet, Senior Consultant at Kimberly-Clark. Ron, it's good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you, Russell.
Ron, let me just say right off the bat that congratulations are in order because we are speaking to each other at the annual conference of CSCMP, the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals, and you are here because Kimberly-Clark is a finalist in the Supply Chain Innovation Award competition that Supply Chain Brain and CSCMP put on each year. So congratulations.
Thanks again, Russell.
Let's start by talking about the innovation that was called for. In other words, what was the problem that Kimberly-Clark was dealing with? What was the issue? So walk us through that.
So Russell, Kimberly-Clark was in a very similar situation as many other consumer packaged goods companies. In fact, many companies in the US where carrier freight was really at a premium. And what we noticed is we were causing a lot of fluctuation or volatility. So basically on a transportation lane, one day we could be ordering 3X and the next day no trucks. That's a problem for a trucking company. And we realized some of that could be softened a bit or leveled some. So that was really, necessity is the mother of invention. So we took kind of a statistical approach to that and looked at how much of that freight is really critical. Could some of that be shipped a day earlier, a day later, and create a more level flow of product across our transportation partners? And every one of those transportation partners told us if you could do that, we certainly could take more trucks off the road by improving the backhauls, get drivers home. By leveling that demand, we also saw where a lot of our analysts were not having to make as many phone calls because we weren't running out to the spot market chasing non-contracted carriers. So.
Okay, so you've now set up what the issue was, what it was you were dealing with, what needed to be overcome, if you will. You did bring in a third party to help you. So let's talk about the solution. Walk us through that. How did that work?
Well, we realized that we needed to bring in some technology that would help us look at what our supply chain planning tools was putting out and figure out what could be pushed and what could be pulled. So we worked with a company called Transportation Warehouse Optimization, TWO. And I had met with their founder and CEO in Chicago several years ago, learned about some of their products. And so really there were two tools that they brought to the table. One was level loading. So we could put those trucks out in a more level manner. But the other thing we did is we early tendered. So we actually ordered our trucks without real product on them. So we could look out further in the future, order the truck, but use late stage differentiation till we had real customer orders to decide what to put on that truck. So TWO used level load to create a more level pattern on the lanes, which the more level your lanes, the more level your throughput at a warehouse. And then they used their truck builder software that we could wait till just before we start loading that truck to decide what does the market need. And so that's based on real sales orders, not on a forecast. And by definition, forecasts are not 100% right. So we created a scenario where we saw a tremendous flattening of the curve. It'll never be perfect, but we used something called coefficient of variability, and I won't go into that math, but we can use that metric to see, are we creating a more even EKG or heartbeat on that lane? And certainly our carriers have seen it. And maybe I can go into the benefits in a minute, but
yeah, I do want to hear about that because I'm sure the viewer is interested in, all right, what has flowed from this relationship? What has been, as you say, the benefits? So walk us through that.
Well, when we set out, it really came from a graph I saw where we were only getting about 65% of our contract award carriers. The rest was going to spot market. And so it was sort of hypothesis, if we could use more of our award carriers, we could control our costs and service better. What we quickly learned, though, by bringing in these tools, we took a lot of the manual touches away from our deployment planners or analysts who were going in and they were like manually reducing some of these stock transfer suggestions. the freight analysts who had to go 1/3 of the time to the spot market when they didn't have to get on the phone in the afternoon. And we were able to do some things, I'll just call it no touch. So we were tendering freight Monday about noon for Wednesday or Thursday shipping. A lot of the freight was gone by then. Now we tender it 3 a.m. in the morning, no touch. We get to the market faster on Monday morning. So we're hitting we're getting close to 100% of our trucks are going on our award carriers. And our carriers are winning because, like I said, when they have that flat curve, they can plan more backhauls. Their drivers are getting home more nights, not having to stay somewhere, wait for a load to come back. And when you're doing that, when you're running no backhaul, you're putting more trucks on the road. It's a sustainability issue with carbon footprinting. So I feel like we're hitting a lot of issues: sustainability, work life, making people's lives more interesting. Our analysts aren't putzing around, playing with stock transfer orders. They're actually involved in continuous improvement right now. And last month, we doubled our end of curve savings. So that was in the second month of go live, we met our end of curve saving. And getting our analysts, people ask me, did we get rid of people? No. We shifted the culture to getting them more in continuous improvement. And now the savings have more than doubled, and their lives are so much more interesting.
Well, it hardly gets any better, I must say.
Doesn't.
Ron, just for the benefit of the any viewer who might not be entirely familiar with the product line at Kimberly-Clark, what are some of the things that you are putting out on the market?
Well, some of us joke Kimberly-Clark's the biggest CPG that nobody knows about, but you certainly know about Kleenex, Huggies diapers, all the products that really are close to us. Cottonelle bathroom tissue. How could we live without that? Certainly during the pandemic, that was one of the biggest fears, that we were going to run out of bathroom tissue, right? So a lot of our products are close to us, but we also have a commercial division out of Atlanta that supplies a lot of hospitals, hotels, restaurants. So products not known as well in our Scott lines.
No, but as you say, very, very important product line,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. Let me just say once again, congratulations to Kimberly-Clark. You are a finalist in the Supply Chain Innovation Award competition that's put on each year by Supply Chain Brain and CSCMP. And thank you for finding the time here at the conference to sit down and speak with us about this case study. Thank you.
You are welcome, Russ.
It's Ron Sweet, Kimberly-Clark, talking to us about an extraordinarily interesting case study that took place right there, leveling transportation demand at Kimberly-Clark. Thank you for watching.